girl Girrrl. Welcome back to my channel. We are going to be talking about Married to Medicine today. I know I'm a little bit delayed. I'm out of town right now. You know what it is. Just got to move and shake. But y'all continue always showing back up to my channel. I appreciate it. Down in the comments, everybody's showing love. Definitely see you guys. We're going to get to this thing of Married to Medicine. We had the first part of the reunion. There wasn't really that much going on. But we did just get to touch base with this whole mess and drama that's going on with Contessa and Scott, of course. Things aren't looking too good in their marriage. That's all we can say. And obviously Toya, she basically got a handful and accountability when it came to her attitude when it came to this season. So we're definitely going to touch base on all of that. Then hopefully we will get a chance to do an episode of Daily Squeeze and kind of talk about all the madness that went on with Nick Cannon. Of course, producing how many kids now he has? Like 7 in the span of 6 months. How does that happen? Who knows? But Married to Medicine, we're going to get into it. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And everybody else, y'all know what to do. Go down in the comments and like the button so we can continue to grow this channel. So we obviously got to start with the fashions, the looks. Everybody's pretty much saying the same thing. Contessa and Heavenly definitely delivered looks-wise. Heavenly is not necessarily known for her fashions. She kind of does, you know, bare minimum. But for some reason, Heavenly actually looked really good this episode. Top 3 definitely would have to be Contessa, Heavenly, and the last one would probably be, maybe Toya. Maybe Toya. She had a lot of fluff going on. You know, they love all that good tulle. Jackie, of course, looked like Jackie, not really doing too much. She's very minimalistic. Simone, I was rocking with you with the satin, but the sleeves definitely were doing just a little bit too much for my taste. But other than that, looks-wise, this was definitely one of the better reunions when it came to fashions. So, of course, we got to get into Andy doing the introduction for everybody. And Quad. Oh, Quad looked okay, y'all. I forgot about Quad. You know, Miss Quad, she got it. Yeah, she was here this season. And she showed up, of course, to give her little 2 cents. And definitely came in to save Contessa at the end when she decided she was going to announce to Scott that she wanted a separation. So, when we get to that part, we'll definitely discuss it. But we open up the episode with Andy basically checking up, you know, doing the usual, what everybody's up to. The introduction of Anila into the season. So Anila as a new cast member, a lot of people are kind of really 50-50 on her. We like her, but trying to mesh new people we always know is definitely a little difficult because you don't know what their vibe is going to be. Now, she was introduced by Toya, so we obviously would assume her and Toya would be good. Not so much. Her and Toya turned into fight like cats and dogs. Don't know what the hell happened. I guess Toya didn't like the fact that Anila wasn't being her puppet. A lot of people felt like Anila was definitely getting talked to very aggressively, very condescending wise. Toya has a tone I personally wouldn't be able to tolerate. I don't know how Eugene tolerates it. I would lose my motherfucking mind. But Anila came and she did good. All of the other ladies, like Simone said, she did her best with not only being friends with Toya, but finding individual time to speak, you know, with the other ladies. Because that's super important. When you come on a show, even though you're introduced by somebody, you got to make sure you are in with the other girls because that's how you get the longevity. Most people who they come in friends with is not who they stay friends with, unfortunately. So Anila's house is done. Her house is bad. But she's kind of pulling a Toya, which is she got taste, but the money is through her husband to support it. Now, apparently, you know, Indians, they pass down generational wealth. Apparently, her family got money. You know, I don't say money, she got money. I like to say it that way. She got money because it go a long ways. I don't know why she couldn't pay the beauticians, the people who were doing her makeup and everything, because that's what it turned into, the conversation of why she didn't pay the makeup artists when they all went out to DC. Her house is $3 million. Of course, when she built a $3 million house, people were looking at Toya like, you're not big man on campus anymore. And everybody knows Toya loves, you know, the lifestyle of the rich and famous, but on Eugene's back, unfortunately. You know, he tired, boss. Toya, let him get a day off. He tired, okay? But Anila has a $3 million house. She had the fancy zebra marble. She had all of that. But couldn't pay the beauticians. Now my assumption is going to be that she thought because she was all married to medicine that she wasn't necessarily going to have to pay. I kind of feel that's probably how it went. That, you know, oh, I'm friends with Toya. Oh, I'm good with her. You know, they just don't let me slide. I don't think that's what it was. I mean, I think that's kind of what it was. She said she had receipts that she paid them. Toya said, I got receipts that you paid them late. So basically they got into an argument about who paid what. Toya was basically saying, yeah, you might have paid them, but not on time. Okay, this is JG Wentworth. It's my money and I need it now. And they messaged Toya basically saying, like, look, this is what I messaged Anila. I've been begging for my money. She hasn't paid me yet. This bitch about to get got. I'm about to catch her outside. Okay, catch me outside. How about that? It's basically what the beautician was saying. But they ended up getting off of that argument and then getting into how her and Anila's relationship basically fizzled out, because it did. Anila was feeling some type of way that after that whole makeover, like the makeup artist situation happened, that Toya went around the neighborhood like bad-mouthing her, because remember, she was like, I'm hearing from everybody in the neighborhood, you know, that I don't pay people, you know, that I don't, I don't have any money, like I don't, pay people what they're worth. And the fact that got back to Anila, there's only one person who really would have said that lives in the neighborhood. That's Toya. So I think it was Jackie or Simone. I think it was Simone who had to tell Toya, this is your friend, but I'm new to the group. And if you're my friend, and even though we had this situation, this altercation, don't put me on blast in front of people I don't know. Like, don't be trying to put my business out there in the streets. I don't know none of these hoes. And you try to, like, put me on Front Street. Like, don't do that. So Toya kind of somewhat, they ended up both apologizing to each other. But in essence, they needed to explain to Toya why Anila definitely was feeling some type of way, because she was handling her all types of foul. Y'all saw how Toya was talking to Anila, telling her, shut up, don't talk to her, you need to sit back down. Like, everybody was looking at her like, Toya, like, she ain't your slave. Like, she's allowed to be friends and talk to other people. But they ended up hugging it out. They had on damn near the same dress. It was basically like, we gonna try to do this all over again. Is that shit gonna last? No. So now we move on to basically Toya's attitude during the whole season. She was wilding, y'all. She was talking to people crazy, cussing at everybody, talking shit on Quad's house, on Heavenly's situation. It was a whole lot of shout out to goddamn Zoe. But she watched the footage back and started crying. And I'm like everybody else, bitch, why you crying? Like, I think Toya realized how stupid she looked going off on everybody. And you're trying to cry to make people feel sorry for you, but it's not gonna work. And so she kind of apologized by being like, I was just going through so much. My husband, he's the only ER doctor out of the group, so nobody was understanding. I would hear him cough at night, and I would think he has COVID, and he's dealing with depression. And so I just was handling it well, and nobody asked me how I was doing. First of all, bitch, ain't nobody gonna ask you how you doing if you just cussed me out 2 months ago. If you cussed me out the last time I saw you, why do I give a damn about what's going on in your household? Secondly, Contessa said it right. You got stuff going on in your household, but so do we. Contessa got to worry about if her husband is community penis. And so now you want her to care about what's going on in your household? Sorry, I got too much on my plate right now. So she really low-key tried to just put a Band-Aid over it, but I'm glad Simone was like, that's not accountability, Toya. You're supposed to be like, look, I did X, Y, and Z. I apologize for X, Y, and Z. And this is how I'm going to do better. So Heavenly had to check Toya too, was like, because they started going back and forth with her being like, oh, well, Heavenly, like, you can't just be saying stuff like that and everything. And she was like, Toya, the point is you selfish. You think about nobody but yourself. And you want people to just like always think about you, but that's not what happened in return. Toya doesn't think about other people. She thinks about herself first. She lives in her own reality. And when people try to check her on it, she starts cussing them out. We know Eugene, blink, SOS, wave a white flag, let us know that you are okay, because I definitely feel like Toya be talking to him crazy in the household, and clearly her kids think the same thing from that episode we saw where she admitted like, oh, the kids be like, mommy, like lay off of daddy, he's trying his best. So clearly she talking to him sideways. But you can't always talk to people like that, Toya, because you got shit going on in your life doesn't mean you get to disrespect other people on a daily. And then especially be like, well, they were talking about me, I was talking about them, so they started talking about me. Yeah, like, what? Started going in on Quad at her apartment, started going in on Heavenly while her closet looked like yours. Like, it was bullshit. So now, Toya, like, your feet gotta get held to the fire, period. Is her behavior going to change? No. Toya is who she is. She blames it on everything else but herself. And she cried because I think she just realized how stupid she looked on national TV causing commotion with people. And you just come off really selfish. That's the only word I can think of. Like, she's so self-centered. To be complaining about the things that you complained about this season, your husband's an ER doctor, trying to save people, and you over here complaining about teaching 2 kids multiplication table. Your husband just tried to save 10 people and 5 of them died. I'm sorry, Toya, that trumps what you went through during the day. But you always want people to look at your life like, oh, poor me, when people got shit going on in their life too. But finally, Andy was like, basically told Toya, like, this is what you gotta do if you want to be friends with them. And so her and Heavenly started cussing each other out. And so she was like, oh, I gotta deal with this all the time. Heavenly calling me a prostitute, telling me I'm in bank trouble, oh, I'm roach, and I'm broke, and I always sleep with my husband for this and that. And so they kind of like ended up hugging it out, kissing it out, because y'all remember Toya had a lesbian moment with Quad, right? So they ended up kissing it out to be funny. So Quad was here. We all know Quad made a comeback. Here's a question, you guys. Because Quad came back, should Mariah get the opportunity to come back? That's my question. Would Mariah coming back bring the show back a little bit? Because honestly, people are looking for something different, when it comes to reality TV, when it comes to a group of women, the dynamic, and the fact that Quad came back, why would not, but first of all, Mariah's in a legal battle with Bravo, so I don't know if they're going to bring her back. But, yeah, drop in the comments, let me know, should Mariah come back since they brought back Quad? But, Quad was basically just talking about, Quad, she got a man, she's dating, she's on the scene, she got her a fine doctor, apparently. Andy offered Bill Gates. She said, well, you do what you do, then I do what I do. Quad basically wants some money. She know what it is, understand, okay? As the song goes, get that bread, get that head, then leave. Peace out. That's Quad's motto right now. So yeah, Quad was basically putting her 2 cents in when it came to Toya talking about her house being an apartment. Toya did apologize for getting drunk and saying all that mess, but at the point in which they start going to move forward, is going to be hard, because as Simone said, Quad, you like to, you hold a grudge. You really do. Quad said, bitch, don't put that toe tag on me. Don't you do it, because we all hold grudges. Simone, now remember what happened with you and Jackie. You hold some grudges too. So Simone, you might want to backpedal off of that one, because you guys all do have the capability of holding grudges, but Quad does do it in a different way. She holds grudges and then uses that as an opportunity to always lecture somebody or try to check someone or try to make it a huge moment. Okay, when Heavenly, that whole situation where she commented and she put the emoji with the hand over the mouth. Now Quad, you was bullshitting when you said that, oh, I thought she was saying I smelt or something. Bitch, where? She's talking about, oh, Android emoji show up different. Girl, you is a lie and a half. Do not sit there and tell all those fairy tales and fallacies. She definitely was looking for a reason to go in on Heavenly, and Heavenly posted that emoji on the little booty pic, and she used that because she was already on go. Period. That's all it was, Quad. Just admit that you were ready getting Heavenly's ass because you felt some type of way about how she was attacking you last season. It is what it is. If you're going to do it, at least be honest about it. But they have a sisterly relationship where they go back and forth. They'll hate each other one minute, then they'll love each other the next. But Quad, you gotta start being honest. Bitch, I don't like you, so I said this. That's all it is. So what happened after that? Quad, Heavenly, and Neela, I'm trying to make sure we touch base on everything before we get into the goods as far as Contessa goes. Let's see. Simone ended up talking to Toya, I think it was, about... No, I already discussed that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to the end where it came to Contessa's turn. We all know Contessa is dealing with a lot in her marriage. She's complacent and functional dysfunction. A lot of people live this way. Like, Contessa's battle is so many people's battle, or so many women's battle. To make the decision to stay in something that is not conducive to your mental health, mental, emotional, spiritual health, but you do it because, one, that's all you know. Two, the whole argument of staying for the kids. And three, because you hope it'll get better because you love this person so much that you see potential. Another issue, unfortunately, that women have is we are potential seekers. We see what it could be. But when you see what it could be a year from now, 2 years from now, you miss what is right here. You miss what's in front of you. And right now, Contessa, you're missing the fact that your husband told you, I don't want to go to counseling. We don't need a counselor. Nothing's going on. We can figure it out on ourselves. 3 months later being like, oh yeah, I got a life coach. I've been talking to her. I don't pay her, but I've been talking to her for 7 or 8 months. Like Kevin Hart, nigga, we not just going to run past that. Like, you didn't just say that. Like, I know I heard you say what I think I heard you say, right? Okay, you not paying her 7 to 8 months. Andy asked her, so Contessa, do you think he's cheating? She said, well, now I don't think so. You are a lie and a half. We all know Scott got naked booty pictures. He got tits and ass in his phone, apparently. And that was found out because we all know Carrie overheard them arguing at the vacation. So when he was asked about the pictures, he said, oh, were they sending me pictures? I might have responded. Nigga, first of all, don't play on my intelligence. What you mean probably responded? You know if you sent back something or not. So then, if that's happening, first of all, that's a form of cheatation or disrespect on the relationship. And you're tolerating that for what? It's not good to your mental health. You already have told him for multiple years, I need you to tell me what I'm doing wrong so we can fix it. But you keep being like, we don't need nobody's help. We got the tools to fix it on our own. Obviously, nigga, we don't, because we still here 10 years later. I'm miserable, you're miserable, but you don't want to hop out of it because you don't want to be the asshole that finds another woman. And I don't want to hop out of it because how dare I be a woman, choose to do better for myself in society who tells me you just got to stick it out because that's what a woman's supposed to do. So now Contessa's over there emotional crying while the husbands are in the back. And, they're talking about, oh, Contessa's like, he has an issue, I don't think he's cheating, but he does talk to other people outside of a marriage. He talks to too many people. And so the guys in the back was like, oh, what do you deem as inappropriate? He's like, anything. And it's like, first of all, the fact that Contessa said, they were like, if something's inappropriate, if you tell your husband, I don't feel comfortable with this, I feel like I'm being disrespected, like, this is inappropriate to me. Contessa's response was, well, it's not up to me. It's up to him to feel like something's inappropriate. No, it's not. If you tell your spouse, hey, you're doing this, it's making me uncomfortable, it's making me feel disrespected, this is not, helping us, your spouse immediately is supposed to, one, not try to negate your feelings, and two, fix it. Like Simone told Contessa, she was having a problem with Cecil having that close of a relationship with his female co-worker that was going out on golfing trips together. She came over for the holidays, stayed a whole week. 5 years, she told Cecil, I don't like it. And the only way it changed is when she decided, okay, I'm divorcing. We are separating. And it wasn't until then that Cecil had to make the decision, which one is more important? My friendship with this woman who's my coworker or my marriage? Now we see where Cecil and Simone are at. They were able to recover, and we know how bad their shit was. So if they can do it, it's possible for Scott and Contessa to do it, but it's not whether they can, it's whether they want to. I feel like Scott is sabotaging the relationship. I really do. I feel like men, they'll mess up, but they're too coward enough to step away from something because they don't want to be the asshole to leave the family, right? I can't be the man that neglects his family. So I'm just going to do everything possible to make her sick of me to walk away. I think Scott is doing everything to push Contessa to walk away. I really genuinely do. But unfortunately, Contessa's not walking away because she's stuck in that battle that a lot of women have. Like, this is a hard decision. Like, what am I supposed to do? She's like, what am I supposed to do? Be mad every day? Am I supposed to just throw shoes and be upset every day? If you're upset, then be upset. But don't be upset and then not require boundaries from your husband so you're not walking around upset every day. That's what they're saying. You got to create boundaries. You understand that these things are pissing you off and are, messing with your mental headspace, but you're not requiring him to change anything so that can be eased up off of you. It's not making any sense. So now he's in the back talking about, oh, I don't do this. Oh, if she really want to do this, then I'm going to just leave. Because Andy asked if the word divorce was thrown around. So she's like, I mean, all the girls know what I'm going through right now. And, and either one of them can answer it. So Quad decided to step up and be like, Contessa decided to go forth with separation. I guess this was news to Scott. So he's like, the fuck? Like, what you mean? Like, separation. And so that's kind of where the reunion ended. But it's just kind of like, Contessa, the fact that you aren't secure enough in saying, I need to walk away from this because you don't want Scott to be mad at you. Like, she still vies for the approval of Scott. Like, she doesn't want to make him mad. And it's like, he's pissing you off every day. He's pissing you off by being with another woman, speaking to her for 7-8 months and not paying her. He's pissing you off by talking to women who are sending him ass shots in the mirror. Like, but you still consider his feelings? Like, shout out to Erica De Niro. It's like, stop sparing these niggas' feelings. When they go low, you go to hell. Period. Like, being the bigger person does not get you anywhere. It gets your feelings hurt, mentally, emotionally, turmoil. And now, as everybody else says, that shit gets passed on to your kids. Like, your kids are looking at this. Your daughters literally, Contessa said, Daddy's talking to a girlfriend. Daddy says he's got another girlfriend. Why are your daughters who are 8, 9, 10 talking about, oh, Daddy said, oh, I'm going to call my girlfriend, and he talking about which one? Nigga, I will set your car on fire. Quit playing with me. And then you doing it in front of my daughters. So now you're first of all, why are you not correcting them? Secondly, if they see you do that to their mom, what you think they're going to accept? So now it's like that battle of, do I stay for the kids? But the thing is, like, stay for your kids to do what? It's not enough to see mommy and daddy together. And that's coming from me, like a person who was a child of divorce. Like, it's watching your parents decide to stay together. Like, that's not enough. It's watching parents stay together and be happy and healthy. That's what that's supposed to be like, because you learn your relationships from your parents. So if they're sitting here in turmoil, miserable, and you'll try to run away from it every chance you get, but subconsciously you're gonna run right into that shit because that's what your being human body knows. So Scott's in the back, he looking pissed off, and Contessa's on the couch looking like, who shot John? I loves Harpo, but I kill him dead if I let him beat me. Like, it's written all over her face. So that was part 1. We're gonna wait for part 2 next week. Things clearly are getting more intense when it comes to Contessa and Scott. But y'all drop down in the comments to let me know, what is your thoughts on the idea of staying together for the kids? That thought, if your husband was talking to another woman for 7-8 months, he wasn't paying her, is that considered cheating? Is that a form of cheating, or is that just disrespect on the relationship? And 3, what you guys think about Toya? Is her personality good for Married to Medicine? Is that somebody that you could tolerate being friends with? Let me know. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. There's more uploads coming, so y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all like, tag, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.